More U.S. strikes against Iran after Tehran ignored his latest deadline to reopen the critical Strait of Hormuz, prompting a major military response from President Trump and the Pentagon. CENTCOM says the strait remains open for transit, but Iran says it is closed. Mike Tobin reports live from Tel Aviv. Mike.
And John, we've got indications that Iran is striking back. Kuwait confirms now several strikes from hostile aircraft at border crossings at an oil rig. The Iranian Fars news agency says what the Iranians were aiming at is U.S. missile launching hardware. Now, this follows strikes by the U.S., confirmed now by U.S. Central Command. The U.S. says sea-based and land-based fighter jets, as well as drones and munitions, were fired from ships and all used in the attack. The U.S. says targets included missile and drone sites, naval capabilities, and sites used for surveillance. This evening, we've got new reports of explosions in Bandar Abbas and Keshem Island in Iran, not confirmed by sources outside of Iran. The latest round of airstrikes was triggered by Iran firing on another commercial ship crossing the Strait of Hormuz. The ship, flagged out of Cyprus, was hit. There was a fire on board and damage to the engine room. At last report, the ship was immobile and stuck in the strait. A crew member, a man from India, is now missing. Now, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth posted, Iran made a poor choice. Now they pay. Iran has stated that the Strait of Hormuz is now closed. The U.S. says that's an international waterway open to all legal trade, and the U.S. will guarantee it. John, back to you.
Mike Tobin from Tel Aviv. Mike, thanks. Let's bring in Fox News contributor Kiron Skinner, professor of politics at Pepperdine University and a senior advisor at the Heritage Foundation. Kiron, who's running the show in Iran right now?
You know, I think that is a question that's up for dispute, but what we do know is that the Tehran regime continues to menace as many ships and other entities in the Persian Gulf as it possibly can with its limited and degraded military. As you know, it has a very degraded air capability, air defenses, just overall limited military capacity. But in this asymmetric conflict, it uses what it has to violate the MOU signed last month. For example, earlier last week, attacking ships passing through Oman's waters. And so the Trump administration here is attempting to protect the rest of the world, the global energy supply from actors. And going back to your initial question, who's in charge? We know that the bad guys in Tehran are in charge, that the IRGC is continuing its activities, and we also know that its Quds Force, the international wing of the IRGC, continues with tens of thousands of partners from South Asia all the way to the Levant, with a special focus on the Persian Gulf. So we've come far in the war that started back in February in terms of making it much more difficult for the government in Iran to do the global terrorism that it's been doing, but it's not done yet. And what I think we have to do, and I hope your audience really hears this, we need more time. There are many who are saying, why is this war not over? It's taking too long. But look how weak the Iranian military is now.
Matt Whitaker, who is our U.S. ambassador to NATO, says that he thinks there are really two sides, if you will, in the Iranian government. One side that's doing the negotiating and one side that's launching missiles. Listen.
I'm not going to obviously talk about the negotiations in private, but what I can tell you is that the Iranians need to get their house in order, that the folks that are shooting missiles and drones at ships need to make sure that they're coordinating with the people that are negotiating the peace deal and that they're all on the same page, because my sense is that they're not.
So does that make sense to you that because there is a leadership vacuum there, one side is saying, yeah, the Strait of Hormuz is open, and the other side is blasting ships that are trying to pass through?
Well, I really respect Ambassador Whitaker, and I think he has intelligence I don't have. But this is not inconsistent with Iranian behavior before there was regime change in the nation. There really hasn't been regime change. The Ayatollah has been taken out, but this is the kind of behavior, good cop, bad cop, and then stalling everything. And so I don't see a dramatic shift in their behavior at the negotiating table or their behavior on the military battlefield. But what is happening that must be discussed is that regional partners are taking action, because it's not just the United States and Israel who are being attacked. It's the Saudis, the Qataris, Bahrain, Jordanians, all over the region. They have attacked U.S. facilities, energy infrastructure, oil and gas pipelines, whatever they could possibly do. And it's led to a kind of new regional security infrastructure that they did not anticipate. Many have said, critics of Israel, that Israel is isolated in the world. I see it differently. Tehran is isolated in the world. It's isolated in its own region. For example, the Saudis, the Turks, Egyptians, Pakistanis have come together in what's now called the R4, the Regional Four, to figure out their own security outside of Tehran being a factor. This is a new day in the region and really the world.
Kiron Skinner, Fox News contributor. Kiron, thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.